Hey, what's happening? Yeah, no, I know, eh? I'm adorable. I look like a giant toddler. Hey! Nice. I know. It's good times, good times. Wicked. I'm so happy to be here. Guys, listen. You taking pictures? That's my post. This is going on Facebook or some shit?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. Thanks. Listen, a lot of comedians, they like to get up here. They like to do a lot of self-deprecating humor and tell you about all the things that are wrong with the world. Not me, man. I'm here to tell you everything's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay, man. It's gonna be okay as long as you're cool. Secret to life is just being cool. Just, whatever problems you have, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? That's really the secret to life. Whatever's happening over here, if you just ignore it long enough, it'll just go away. You know what I mean? No, seriously, if you're just cool, everything will just work itself out. You know what I mean? Listen, problems are a lot like young children, right? If you give them a lot of attention and nourishment, they'll be around for a long time. But if you just ignore them and neglect them, eventually social services comes along and takes them away from them. And then they get lost in the foster system. You're like, what children? You know what I mean? Like, look at all this extra income I have now. You know what I mean? Like, same thing with problems, man. Just stop fucking worrying about it. As long as you're cool, it all gets worked out, man. Like, people are like, my problem. This is how I deal with my problems. Like, and I just go to sleep. I just go to sleep. I'm like, I'm sure tomorrow a solution will present itself to me. You know what I mean? I don't even I will figure it out. I'm like, it'll figure itself out, and then it'll just come to me once it figures itself out. You know what I mean? Right? Like I remember I used to date this girl when we lived together, right? And I lived with her, so I had to pay half the rent. You know what I mean? It was a fucking terrible relationship. You know what I mean? She expected that every month, half the rent. And the thing is, I'm really terrible with my money. I don't know how to manage my money. I just spend it because I'm cool. I just spend it. I'm like, other money will show up eventually. This is not the last money in the world. Clearly, more money will be made. So every month, a week before the rent was due, a week before, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do for the rent. And then something just happened. I got some gig or whatever the fuck, right? But then this one time, which was the first time it ever happened to me in my life, right? And for a moment I doubted my coolness. 2 days before the rent was due, I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna have any money, there's nothing coming up, no new money is being made. Right, so I had to tell my ex-girlfriend that I can't fucking pay. And, which was really difficult for me to tell her that, because she was always very angry about my life choices and shit. And she often worried about making plans or whatever. And I had to tell her, I was like, listen babe, I'm not going to be able to pay the rent this month. Sorry? And she's like, you know what, Massimo, you do this all the time. You think just because you're cool, everything's going to work out. But you know what? Life doesn't work that way, Massimo. Life doesn't work that way, right? And I had no choice but to stand there and take it like a little bitch, right? Because I had no fucking rent money. I'm like, yeah, no, I guess maybe life, might be that way for most people. But then the next day, somebody calls me on the phone. It's a comedy booker, and they're like, hey, somebody canceled on a gig. They're out. You're in if you want it. Not only did the gig pay my rent, but also had $150 left over, right? And not more than 10 minutes passes, my girlfriend walks into the room, right? I'm like, babe, remember yesterday when I said I couldn't pay the rent? Well, guess what? Somebody canceled the gig. They're out. I'm in. Not only am I going to pay the rent, I also have $150 left over. $150 I'm going to use, take out the sweet lady, right? And She wasn't happy to hear this. She wasn't happy to hear this, right? Because I just proved that she was fucking wrong and being a bitch the whole time, right? And she's like, you know what, Massimo, if this keeps on happening to you, you're not gonna learn anything. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I just learned if you're cool, everything gets taken care of. Guys, you've been wonderful. Thank you so much. Good night. Just move in the door.